As a statues, tankas, someone like to the like Shiva and Ganesha pictures, they're different. Therefore, it's very wonderful, all religions come together, pray together, it's more power. Therefore, all religions we have to, very important to respect. If you follow religion or not, also up to you. What religion you follow is up to you. It's good for respect. It's very important. Also, very important to not criticize religions. Maybe you criticize one religion next to your person, friend. Maybe he has friend. Maybe you are just, criticize their religion. You get mad. Maybe, Sometimes, we criticize the person, right? He said, oh, he's very bad, he's bad. Maybe he's the friend, maybe you don't know. Then you make big mistake, right? Therefore, Buddha said, always, don't talk too much. Don't listen too much. Don't think too much. Don't look everywhere. If you look in every corner, so you can see all bad things, good things, and then you want to say something. They say, okay, do your own business. Don't do others' business. It's good? In other words, we do so many others' business, then we have a lot of problems. Maybe our motivations are good, but maybe they're not work for them. Right? We have a lot of problems, always problem others person, right? Maybe that person too good with motivation, they try to help that. It doesn't work for us. Then we get mad. Therefore, usually Buddha says, you cannot force people to do that. If they ask you something, then you try to, much you can to give the information, much you can to tell them to more teachings. Therefore, always, very important, Buddha says, you're your teachers, you're your garden, not flower garden. I'm not talking about flower garden. How is that? You're your guide. You're your guide, you're your enemy, you're your teacher. I think this is really true, right? Therefore, always to just more business do. I'm not talking about you guys, We have to do our own business, not other business, other person's business. Therefore, we need to try to, looking for our mind, body, speech, body, speech, mind. What I'm going to talk, how I act others. How is that? Act? Reaction. Right? Reaction is very important. Someone shows not very good, nice, then we are not very comfortable, right? We are not very comfortable to talk with them. Therefore, always, usually Western is very good reaction. They are all smiling, hey, how are you? It's very good. Very important to reaction to nice. Then smiling. Then thinking also good way. Okay? Okay, now we do a little bit of meditation. There are so many different kinds of meditations. I don't know which one we do. Maybe you can sit the chair. You sure? Okay? And anything you come to, okay? Usually when you are really serious meditation person, or you want to long term, you have to sit like this way. Because also you need to not like this, not like that, just very strict your back. Because there are so many different channels. Channels have to go directly. If you there, the channels of it bent. The channels have to go inside, in the channel there go all the winds. The winds, our winds very important. Then when we lose the power of the wind, our body, then we will die. Therefore, wind go to up, down is very important. Therefore, so many different channels, therefore we have to go, our winds go up, down very, therefore, if you long time, you have to sit like very, how is that? Property? How is it? Property? Property. Properly. Properly. Properly? Yeah, oh yeah, properly, okay? Then otherwise you can just stand up, you can just lay down your feet, just relax. You can do like that. We have 7 or 8 different positions. You have to sit properly, you have to look like here, don't look like that, don't look too close. Close your mouth, hold your hand like that, little open here. This is your long-term meditation. But to come close, is Buddhism, even the meditation position makes me crazy. It's too much. If you think, just lay down under your sofa, okay? Just put your feet on that big table. Anyway, the purpose of one thing is to control our mind, right? Therefore, everyone try to bring your mind next to you, okay? With you, not just go everywhere. Usually our minds go to all different directions, okay? Maybe I'll try the corner there. Oh, that's good. You can move a little bit front, and she can stand behind that. Okay? Sit slowly, slowly. Okay, Ian, you can stay with your mom. You stay with that. Okay? Okay? Okay, now you want to close your eyes. Think about your from head to knee 3 times, okay? Slowly, slowly. Slowly, just go from your head to knee, up, down 3 times. Okay, now you watch your mind. Just follow your mind. Try to not stop. Not try to think of one subject. Just whatever think, whatever go, just follow your mind. Like on the front you, some mouse. You can see go up, down, walking around like that. Just follow your mind. What your mind thinking, where you going, not stop, just follow. Not try to stop, wherever it goes, fine. If you hear sound, if you're smiling, if you're nosy, or you remember something yesterday, just go, wherever they go, just follow, recognize. Just moment, follow your mind. Try to not stop. Wherever they go, it's fun. No focus one subject, just go anywhere, but not try to stop. Okay, now stop. How's it? You go everywhere, you can find. Now try to stop. We have to control, okay? We have to try to very deep breathe on and also in or out. Okay? 9 times. You count just count 1, okay? This is a try to not go away, not stop, not lose the count, okay? Stop very slowly. When you bring in, keep the moment, keep a little bit, okay? You think that, okay, now I'm bringing out, now I'm bringing in, now I'm keeping, you think about that, okay? Not listen the sound, not listen the music, not think about your house, okay? Okay, now we start. Slowly bring in, bring out, keep the moment, 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 bring in, bring out, 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 bring in, okay? Do you count? Do you lose? When you lose, you are on the 5, you lose. Okay, like that, okay? Okay, now think about your feeling, okay? Try to just Try to experience your feeling, okay? Good feeling, bad feeling, try to good feeling, okay? Not bad feeling. Because before we did that, or we make our mind like neutral. Therefore, I'm sure we are not thinking about sad things. If we don't think sad, then we cannot, experience for sad feeling. Therefore, we try to get away the sad things, try to peace, okay? It's possible to good feeling, if not just neutral, okay? Try to experience your feeling, okay? Okay, that's good enough. Not too long, otherwise you fall asleep. How's it? Do you feel anything? I don't know what I'm thinking. It's hard to, for our beginnings, but you can try to every day learn. Also, not too long, at least 2-3 minutes, okay? Then stop, then try again. Then stop talking. Otherwise, you try too long. When you realize that, you check, what are you thinking? You have no idea. Try to, short-term thinking more, short-term thinking more. That okay? Okay? Okay. I think now we're going to start. And how the temperature is okay? Not too cold, not too hot? Perfect? Oh, good. Maybe Fiona's a little cold. You a little cold? Maybe go get the room, have some blanket. You okay? But she's a kid. Kid's body is very strong, no problem. For us, cool, turn out, it's too hard. And then the kids, no problem. Okay? Trina that tuition something tanda should have gone to Jade and Mundo.
So the practice of the meditation that we try to do now is just like the preliminary, the preparation practice.
And then also Trembani she's a gum, that thing Mundo.
So this is called the closement meditation, or close placement meditation. So you try to remember the things or the object that you're meditating on.
And the Trembani said they should not take on Zamblilla, pay Takaru Chapchimuro.
So this the 4 close placement of mindfulness, is very popular nowadays in this world.
And they show Chini number and the way on, number Shiva Naji Magnetic Moboshik was.
So there are many way of explaining that, which are very similar to how it's explained in Buddhism, but there are also some that are very different, where they're explained in Buddhism.
And then Ganzo Li Towa Sem Chu Shelami with that, Yaman Tomosu Lilem, and it's Suzu Semlem, and it's Suzu Tovalem, and then the Chutam Julam in the Gomjayers.
So there are 4 different stages, like the 4 close placement meditation. So focus on one's body, one's mind, one's feeling, and the phenomena around oneself.
You want chair? You want sit chair?
No, I'm fine.
You okay?
I'm gonna wake myself.
Okay. Yeah. 근데 이제 아니 당분간 좋다지 아니 대만이죠. 레라오도 있고 아니 봐 아니 띵띵 살살 들어요.
So first we can meditate, on the four the close placement of mindfulness in a simple way, and then of course you can get deeper and deeper later.
아니 대단다 제대 아니 소소고 즉 삼라지 초안을 원래 도와줘나도 야고용 따라서.
And so by doing what you did just now, if you are able to generate some kind of feeling in your mind, then that's a good sign.
그리고 단단 강도 변화 다 리초 선주 강강님에 다 취사대 다 남불이 예수 취예수 차선 라면에 다 고텔에 차바에 맞지 나와야 맞지 다 시대 좀 다에 대신도서.
So just now what we did, is just focusing on the body, body, mind, and the feeling. And then there's another one, it's the phenomena. Phenomena is all the things, everything that exists around oneself, right? Everything that exists is a phenomena. And so when you look at the phenomena, you focus on phenomena and then just don't have any kind of attachment or aversion or things like that. So not having just seeing it in like a neutral, not having any attachment or aversion and
다 대대 나도 나바의 날에 나바마의 날에 추의 날 추켈랭의 날 추기나 간에 미 참이 다 통모도 제일 원리 저 샘 추세대 전화 여러 와.
And so these three, the four objects that we meditate on, these are all commonly accepted by by all kinds of beings, whether they're religious or not. So like the body, mind, the feeling, and the phenomena, the things around oneself.
근데 양 가지 양 주봐서 마도 양 미참이 개 말려는데 뭐 여러 와.
So some of the objects that we meditate on can be only accepted by the religious people and not by other people.
그리고 나도 상처고 샘사 돈이었어야 아니 지가 못다봤어야다 아니 렌데서야 저야 나도 주봐서 마도 양 몇십백 지라고 그렇게 말해서는 냠누셔 요 말아 왔어.
So just like bodhicitta, emptiness, impermanence, especially the subtle impermanence, and karmic law of cause and effect, subtle part of that also. It's difficult to be accepted by all people. So only if you have studied about Buddhism, then you will understand about those things.
근데 얘한테다 사망군에 의원했을래야 나도 내 시작이 그래서
It's just that it is not accepted by other people means like it's not it's just that they don't know about it. So but it's not telling about something not true. It is true. It's the reality. That's how it really is. But it's just that people have no idea about it, so it's hard for them to accept it.
아니 가서 남에게 렌데사시 그랬다. 렌데사 때때 무슨 땅가서 지금 추천하고 하면 내가 찾으면 찾아서 봐.
Especially the karmic law of cause and effect that is explained in Buddhism, especially the subtle, the detail about the karma and so forth, it's most difficult to understand, and it's only explained in Buddhism, that subtle part of that.
근데 나도서 렌데를 고야보 차와야나 렌데를 이체여지 렌데를 고야보 차와야나 나도 그 강에 몸보자 돈이 쳤다 버렸어.
And so if we have a very good understanding about the karmic law of cause and effect, then many of the difficulties that we feel or we experience can be eased just by thinking about the karmic law of cause and effect.
다 대리 진리사다 다 가르치려고 그랬어. 계산도 들어가나?
So what kind of karmic law of cause and effect we're talking about here?
아니 안도에서 뭐 가르치지래, 법가르치지래, 부모가르치 되게서 말했어.
So not just talking about how we are born as human beings or how we are born as a female or a male and so forth.
그래서 난도래데 난도 뇌하게 대화세죠. 근데 다 동아서 그는 막 강에서지도 와서 뒤걸시려 그랬어.
So especially like the sufferings that we don't want to experience and the happiness that we want to experience. How do we achieve that and how do we prevent that?
그봐. 근데 인바이자 아니 난도 삼나 소속 강에로 오잖아. 구제성, 무제성, 지지제성, 얘기제성 마음을 발랍되게 왔어.
Mostly, when we experience some kind of difficulties or problems, then we always blame on others, right? Oh, she did it, he did it, and they did it. Because of that, I'm going through this problem.
You got her? Tam's voice okay? Maybe it's too low.
Can you hear? Can you hear
Yeah,
clearly?
that
No? Back
doesn't
there?
hurt.
Make it a little louder maybe?
You guys heard behind people
Can you
heard?
hear now? Better? Make it a little louder?
No, put it louder. Here. Oh?
Can you?
But no, YouTube doesn't matter. The outside,
You have the headset.
Your headset different. Yeah. Don't listen to YouTube. Check out the hair.
No, I have to get because it's broken, so I have to.
No. I'm not saying check the behind the people. Then they can hear or not. Get her.
Can you take? Yeah, better? Yeah. That's
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Mary and Geshe is asking you to take
Yeah.
off the headset and listen just to see the volume.
The one you
Because
get.
otherwise, yeah, of course, you can put it on.
Yes, sir. No, but I have the YouTube's having issues,
Oh, okay.
so I
Yeah.
have to really watch the YouTube to make sure everything's okay. It's been broken,
Yeah.
so but I'll check. Okay.
Is people can hear too?
Can you hear better now? Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
맞아. 또 네가 쳐야 돼. 네는 나 이거 들어봐. kunzo ko cheoras.
So the most important is for the people here to be able to understand or to listen to hear. YouTube, if they want, they can listen. If not very important.
Okay. 근데 저는 안 좋게 제가 야보거나 kunzo ko hum dos.
So you can anyway. So
Anyway, therefore, now everyone heard, right? Otherwise, you guys come here, just stay there, what's talking about? And then you get mad, you know. Still 2 hours, I don't know anything. They have microphone, look, we don't hear. They know sometimes, manzu change in the chance of kulusana the bosaros.
So because of our sound, if you become angry, then we will create the negative karma, right?
And 제가서 주소라 요네 지금 선발 열려요. 그 야보요. 야보 장치 되거든. 내일은 고로서나야 된다 만들어 버렸어.
So the purpose of your coming here is to, to listen, to learn something new, and to find some peace and relaxation. But instead, if you become aggravated, with not hearing the sound properly, then your purpose is all, it's all failed.
Okay? Therefore, I hope you guys touch more peace, not more fire. Okay, now you want to hear? Back people can hear? Okay, today is a Tagaro. Now, what are we talking? Now I forgot.
Lende.
Okay. They says I'm getting old. Or lende. Lende said that Nami on the lende said the pain negotiation lende said.
And so in Buddhism, especially about the karmic law of cause and effect, it's very strongly regarded.
But there is a time not also can't there that Tini lende said Kari lende said not so cheap. Mitsama la goya deva said Mitsama la moga dunga said that Tikor said yours.
And so when we talk about the karma and the cause and effect, then we're talking about how do we achieve the happiness? What kind of karma do we create to achieve the happiness that we want, and what kind of karma should we stop, or avoid that brings suffering to us?
그래서 나도 간지 강 문제가 강해진다고 다들 나도 동안들 그래. 대 나도 지 소소 만들어 지 쇼와이나 거제서 뭐제서 배제서 나도 가디나 파밀이야 빌림치기 여러스.
And so something that we don't wish to experience, and then when we experience that, that's called suffering, right? So when that happens, then we usually blame to someone else. And says, oh, because of him, because of her, or because of them, I'm going through this kind of problem.
아니 나도 지 야보로 지나 내 제와에서 내 소에서 소소돼서 가지하러 오지 것도 왔어.
But if something good happens, then you always say, oh, I did that. So we become proud, saying that we did it.
대니가 되는 영화 대 쇼주로 지나게 제 인지해서요. 나도 제 인지 이나야. 제가 때문에 뭐 유튜브를 내용 거래서.
And so it is true that you might have contributed, you might have done, a part of it, you might have contributed in, doing that good thing. But there are so many other causes and conditions that has to come together for that good thing to happen. And so you can't just take the credit, to yourself alone.
We need to credit everyone, right? 아, 글쎄. 제일 많이 식사했었다. 어떤데다 아니 나도 렌더를 거와 야보지 차와이나 렌더를 거와 야보자 렌더를 이치 야보지 거와 야보지는 나도 이치 내가 왔어. 거와 많이는 나도 이치 온 말이야. 근데 렌더를 거와 이치 야보지 내와이나 아니 가쇼로. 네. 나도 강에 못 보자 돈에지도 그랬어.
And so when we understand, the karma and the law of cause and effect, the karma, very well, then we'll be able to, control our mind. Yeah? So when something bad happens, we don't blame on others, and when something good happens, we don't take the credit by ourselves. So it's very important, to understand about the karma. So more understanding you have about the karma, the more respect or more faith, belief and faith you will have in the karma.
오케이? 그래서 나도 가리나로 소수가 되고 야보이 쓰는 것도 될지 딩선으로 용어로 왔어.
So whatever is anything, right? It's not just the karma. Anything that if you understand well, then you have a confidence about it. You have faith in it.
그래서 소수 무엇이나 맞아지 미치기 찌르니라는 거다 그 인버레는 삼대. 근데 그 니마치 어디 말해서 뭐도 제수적으로 왔어.
So if you don't have a good understanding about it, then you might just believe on other people saying, oh, he says that, and then that belief will not be very strong. Will not be very strong, because it's not based on your proper understanding. So therefore, when somebody says something different later, then you'll change to that. Your mind will change very easily.
오케이? 그래서 그냥 나도 소수 나도 참아 소수 저서 미래 소수 멤버를 여러 왔어.
So we all have our main doctor, our primary care doctor, right? We each have, right?
근데 딱 보면 그 가려는 것도 되게 이치 쇼여러 왔어. 이치 쇼여러 왔어.
So whatever the primary care says, we have very strong belief in him or her, right?
Correct. Oh, my doctor said that. Oh, I couldn't eat that. My doctor said that. You just cut up that. 그래서 시전에 다 밀어서 듣고 다시 전에 아주 나사 무슨 아니 매전 대표 되는 팬이와 같이 소소라 지금 이치 등선만 보여다 같이 코 라베든 것도 시적으로 왔어.
And so that's because whatever she did or he did to help you has helped you, right? Have given you medicine and that have cured your disease or prevented your disease, and so therefore you believe in your doctor.
Okay? 근데 이제 다 남주 남배이잖아. 남주 땀 시다로 만나와 남주 남배잖아. 제가 아버지가 아니 제가 결혼된 쇼와레스. 가면 들어와는 제가 결혼된 쇼와레스. 라고래서.
And so in Buddhism, this is how it's explained, and it's, that whatever happens to us, whether it's good or bad, is all because of some cause and conditions coming together.
원하티 제수사와래 젠데 시쪽 제수사와래서나 제대야 상에도 소소차대요.
So who created the cause, and who provides the conditions? Right? So oneself is the one, who created the cause.
아니 제사대다 뒤에 가서 곧 내서도 영어 걸로 고추 야치 그러고 로바칭이라고 영어로 뭐 되려고 그러었어.
So the condition, is like the auxiliary cause. That's anything around there that helps, for the cause to ripen into a result.
그냥 남도 지금 나와는 거로 저로 나와 있나? 남도서는 남도는 뒤 나이 레드 사사요 그래서 얘는 깨가지고 얘는 그냥 직 가라서 이동하고 야만은 직 천돈이 세가지고 근데 있잖아요. 남도 나게 도와서.
So for example, like when you have a stomach ache, right, a bug or stomach ache, in Buddhism, what we say is that yes, that's the result of your karma. So you have created a cause for the karma, and the condition, is that maybe you happen to have something, some kind of food or some kind of drink, right? So usually we say, oh, because of that food I had it. No, it's not just that. That's just the condition. The real cause of the stomach ache, is the negative karma that you have created.
다 어느 틀이 레서도 전에 매워 소야만 다 콘레인지 냐고든 저 냐고 말 매워 소야 그래서 저도 마음이 깨도 만져 봐라 나도 매워 소도 그래서.
And so we have the karma to have that stomach ache, right? But if the condition has not met, then we will not experience that. So if you haven't taken that food, you will not meet that. So therefore, by doing the purification, you can get rid of that karma. So when you get rid of that karma, then you will not have to experience the result, the stomach ache.
그냥 가서 범라고 하잖아. 룸바치 주주지 또야 범 소셔이나. Kuchen the Montana Kungamar was. Kungati, Zugunakoran, Zugunati, the Kinja there was. Then Lemena, and Kungamarla, and Koyam Gam also was.
So just like if there's a bomb, right, explosion, bomb, and that can destroy a small country. So it has this bomb, but just because it's there doesn't mean it's going to explode, right? So you have to meet with the condition. The cause is there, but meet the condition like pressing the button, or putting, throwing it there and so forth. So those are the conditions, right? So those can, if you meet with that condition, then it will explode in that place and destroy that country. But if not, then it will not, right? So before it happens, you can get rid of that. You can destroy the bomb, so that way you do not have to. That way, even if it meets the condition, it will not explode, right? And then you will not have to experience the result of destruction like that. So it's just like how the karma works also.
Oh, Tendida, Tendi, Yabo, Doyo, Suzu, Suzu sent the Dabojana, and then they do the Sagamares, and Leya Saga, Leya, and Suzula, and Yabo is Laptegres.
And so these main cause of the sufferings are created by ourselves. So if we control our mind, then we will not be creating that. Yeah? And so if we practice to control our mind, then we will not create the bad cause for the sufferings, and we'll only be able to create a good cause for the happiness that we want.
Okay, that's Shunjuk said it, Tashi, the Shunju said it, Pemba, Pesha, Nina, Lalenta, 7 Pemba Shu,
So these details about the karma, law of cause and effect, and so forth are explained in many different texts, right? Including the text that we're studying now, which is one of the most powerful texts that explains all these teachings about karma and so forth. And so here it's talking about what is the cause of all suffering, right? So there's many kind of delusion, especially one of them is the anger or the hatred.
Chapter 2.
And so it's in this Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life, the 6th chapter, that explains about the patience, so how to overcome anger, the delusion anger. Right? So in the verse 41.
I mean, Tantina Yuba Pesha, Tantin, Numa Jagada, Pelia, in that Chubajan, Yubada, Tredan, and Lapagan Zundo Shamato. So teaching that Yuba said the co Pekeva that was.
So here in this verse 41 is talking about the weapon that is used to harm others, right? Or harm you, So what was used to harm you? Like in olden days, they're talking about the stick, stick or knife or hand, and those kind of things that are used, to harm other beings. So, but in this country, like normally, people in this country, what kind of sufferings do they experience? They don't experience the suffering of being hit by a stick, right? Not so much. That's not very common. Not even in the schools, right? So if somebody used a stick to hit you, that will be the end of it, right? So you'll be taken to court the next day.
Big mistake, right? That didn't know the time of Pija Manche, Channel Baje, Nesan, they may do something. Text message it. Mipa Tuni and Chichilayan, Geshe Ngawang Tenley was.
So in my view, I think the most common one here is the text messaging. Yeah. It's hard, to have a time to meet with each other and fight. You just text.
Right? You find on the email. Right? Social media, right? On the Facebook, on the WeChat. Maybe you don't know WeChat. Message place, you just read. Just find that. You don't see each other. Therefore, you don't get this stick. Old term Tibetan, India, the old terms, just, this one, then chapel, shoes, right? 근데 이제 다 먼저 맨날 소소라지 강에서 뭐 가지고 공도 삼아 가지고 선배는 맞으셔지 오는 거다. 또 때려 두면 봐. 대용어디 저는 메시지 통하네. 아, 공가 때랍소. 공가 내 티셔츠 간도 용으로 봐. 그 특배지 또 세제 특배지 당도 나가러 와서.
So the suffering is that, the discomfort that you feel in your mind, that's the suffering, right? So if you feel that discomfort in your mind by seeing that text message, or, he said or she said such a bad thing, use such bad words, to say these things to me and so forth. So when you hear that, that is like the weapon, striking you to have that feeling of discomfort.
좋아. 그냥 나도 미치게 저런 걸 주바시주네. 제가 누가를 가진 나 고려 사람이 저는 그 뭐는 나다다니 누가를 하는 말만 그걸 나오면 와서 믿기 쉬울려나 그봐 락도 와서.
And so if somebody hit you with a stick on your head, then you become angry at the person, right? And this person is not the one, that's giving you the pain, it's the stick. You get the pain directly from the stick, so you should be angry with the stick. And that's what it's saying, right? And they say, no, but the stick is used by person. And so therefore I'm angry with the person.
나도 뒤질라고 봐.
Is that how we say?
Is that right? We maybe kids get mad, the sticks, they walk. They say in a mad, then the parents start to beat them, they feel better. But our adults, we don't get someone stick, hit the stick, we don't, Karo. We're not angry with the stick, right? We're angry with the person. Therefore, then we say, why you're not angry with the stick? Because stick hits you. No. The stick has no power.
It has no power. It is used by the person. So then we also can say that person doesn't have power either. The person is manipulated, by its feelings or emotions, right? Negative emotions like anger, hatred, and so forth.
Okay, that's the 저도 이메일 팩 나도 이메일 당한다. 미치게 트 두어지 되어와지. 소소 셀러 포티 와나. 다 나도 오늘 셀러 포에도 트든 통하는 것도 요거로. 와 트든 통하는 것도 돼. 막아 되어와 왔어.
So the same with the text messaging or email, when somebody sends you that bad email or text messaging, you feel bad, you feel unhappy. It's the word that causes you to feel that unhappy. By reading the words, then you feel unhappy. So it's actually the word, the text, right, that made you unhappy.
Right. 얘는 나도 마음에 콜콜로 사 말아. 콜콜로 사고 싸마산 거 말아 왔어.
So then you should be angry with the word, with the text, And then, but you don't feel that way. You don't say, no, I don't get angry with the words. I get angry towards that text. So if you say, oh, I'm angry with this text, and I'm angry with the word and the words, then people will say you are crazy, right? So, but actually it's the text that's causing you the discomfort directly, right? But you don't get angry. Then you say, oh, because it's written by such and such person, so therefore I'm angry to that person. So just like the person using the stick, to harm somebody, doesn't have control. It is manipulated by the person's manipulated by the delusions, the anger and so forth. Just like that, the person who's writing the text message doesn't have control either. It's also manipulated by the negative emotion like anger, hatred, and so forth. And so it says, disregarding the principal cause, such as stick and the like, so like, we're using the text messaging here, if I become angry with the one who impels it, then it is better if I hate hatred, because that person is also impelled by hatred. So just like that, and the person who is sending the text message is also impelled or manipulated by the negative emotion, hatred, and so forth.
나도 마티에 저도 지혜로 왔어. You guys go write bad things for your friends when you get emotion. Your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, your neighbor, your co-workers, we write bad things, right? 나도 지혜로 왔어.
So when you're angry with them, you write bad things. Yes, right?
Yeah.
We do.
대화도 지혜대 그래. 나도 샘 고로 맞은 지혜 얼굴 건 지혜 나왔어. 내가 듣도
So what made us to write that bad thing? It's our anger, right? Because we're angry with them, that's why we write that. If we were not angry, would we write that? No, right? So it's really, obviously, it's the anger that made us to write that.
나 콘도 사면을 나 콘도 가셔서 콘도 사면 안 들라고 그래. 나도 나 콘도 사면 안 들라고 그래. 인천한테 지혜대 가르치는데 바주하게 저런 게 싸면 나지 마치와 저런 나와는지 마치는 것도 콘도 사용 물어봤어. 거기 샘을 좀 맞다 봤지.
So, of course, some people might not accept that. So, no, I wasn't angry when I said that. But yeah, you're definitely, some negative emotions rising in your mind that cause you to do that. So if you are not angry, you will not say those bad words.
오케이? 어떤 이자 다 모두 파티션으로 뒤에도 모두 라고 만들어 와서 나도 콘도 사는 나도 라고 만들어 왔어.
So when we write that, we're writing it out of anger, right? So we wrote that with anger. So it's not ourselves. We don't have the control. We are controlled by the anger.
들으셔야지. 나도 라고 만들어.
Do we have the control?
야, 나도 랍쇼로 왔어. 나도
When we're angry,
랍쇼로
do we have control?
들으자. 나도 라고 매와이자. 다 모두 라고 나도 사람은 총소리 시다래 공조리 내 차례 맞아랬어.
So like when we're angry, we don't have control. We just happen to say bad things, right? We just say bad things. We just do bad things. We're like controlled by the anger, impelled by the anger, and we're doing that. We don't have control.
들어와. 들으자 당분 나도 왔다 다들 몰라. 들으서는 따도 다 나도 빼셔서만 다 봐주면도 수강에 되게 돼요. 콜라라고 말 뭐라고 말이지.
So just like we don't have control when we're angry and we say bad things or write bad things, just like that, the other person, when they're angry, they have no control. So that's why they say bad things or they write bad things. So when we see them saying bad things or doing bad things to us, then we should not be angry with them, but be angry with their anger, which is impelling them to do those bad things.
다 그거 봐줘도 돼야 돼요. 그런 미신문 배운 거래라나? 야 봐줘 걔는 말상 나 신경 안 고슬라 그러고.
And then if you happen to say, oh, I don't blame you, you did it out of ignorance. The other person will not accept it. No, I'm not ignorant. So like even if we try to blame to other the ignorance in that person's mind, not the person, but still person is not happy, right? So saying that I'm not ignorant is also ignorant, right?
대리마도 배나 담보로 맨날 나도 담보 딱 대마치 이바드는 거 파주 콜로나 콜 지어서 그런 거 봐. 담보 나도 직진가라 파주니가 나 찍고 누가 찍어서 그런 거 맞더라 와. 소소도 직 삼투로 그 대케시는 나도 어쩌고 그러 봐.
So at the beginning you don't have the intention, to make that person angry, to make that person angry, and then you do it, and then that happened to make that person unhappy or angry. But next time, of course, second, third time, you know that, and then you might plan that. Before, you're not planning it; you just did it out of ignorance.
Okay. 어디 되게 딱 간지 난주문에 미 팔을 내가 찍어야나 난주 삼지 처음에 나도 시당 곧 뉴모 오장 찍대 말이. 수치에나 딱 고랑 시당 올 때말이. 되게 다디 가르쳐나 미 소소군의 저거고만이야 som당겨서 저거고만.
So when we did it, to others, then we did it out of anger, because of the anger we did to others. So same thing when the others do to us, that they're doing out of anger. So if we think about that, then we'll not get angry towards the person. So that helps us to be patient, with the person.
Okay.
Who's causing harm to us.
근데 다 야슈도 가래 미 봐줘라 샴바고면 니제고면 때 아니 야고에서 왔어.
And then, so then instead of becoming angry towards that person, it's because poor guy, he's controlled by the delusion, out of ignorance, he did that. So you develop love and compassion towards that person.
티 마티는 옆에 서거든. 포가 유행으로 마티 티 매마 빠져다. 야, 이메일이야. 포가 유행으로 스트리머선 티 매마 빠져다.
And so, but don't say that, if it's just feeling in your mind, right? You say, poor guy, you just have that. If you write that in the email, that might make the other person, being looked down. So he's thinking of me that I'm a poor person, and he might even get more angry.
그러나 대부분 소설병이래. 나 이제 다 코로나 이제 마시고 온 거래. 코로나 하고 분들은 소설병이래. 와 그렇지. 코약 오지고 콩갈 가운데는 나도 코로나 와서 그래.
So not saying to the person, and of course, in your mind you're thinking, oh, poor person. In your mind you're thinking, in our mind we think like that. So poor person, he doesn't know he did it out of ignorance, and like that in your mind. Then that will help us, to not get angry towards the person.
Okay. Okay. 대패지 다 들려다 간지 나도 소소하지 마경에 제대로 공통 마사지 가래. 대 코로나 내자체다 뜨먹은 거. 코로나 유명한데 레스 다 저러잖아. 뒤지 유명으로 공통 사지라고 해서 나야 좋대.
And so mainly you're saying is that you should not get angry towards the person, because the person is not the one to be blamed. It is the delusion in the person's mind who's making him or her to do that. And so therefore, if you want to be angry, then really be angry with the delusions in the person's mind.
Okay. 대지다. 대지다 이제 세집에 다 소소 대마다 다는 소소라지 강인 자와치 담으로 연도와데 아니 다 그는지 샘진 라 렌지와이 너와시 대외 샘진 세제바 달란다 만들어 줘. 소주 파 예는 너와치 와다 다 대는 제어도 소소라 주요 거래. 했으라고.
And then also, instead, of becoming angry, then you can blame to oneself, like, oh, whatever the harm that I'm receiving from them is because of the harm that I have given to them in the past. That's because I gave them the harm in the past, so now I'm getting it back. So if we think like that, then it will also help us to not get angry. So just like it is said in the verse 42, in the past I too have inflicted such pain on sentient beings. Therefore, I who have caused harm to sentient beings deserve that in return.
근데 오늘 나도 파주셔도 투주셔로 왔어. midnight 파지는 투지라고 왔어.
So is it like that? So if you hit somebody, then somebody will hit you back, and if you say something bad to somebody, then somebody will say something bad to you. Is it like that?
그래서 파 이메일 찍다가 지 파 누가 찍다가 지 누가 따요 그러와.
So if you send a bad email, you will get a bad reply also, right?
그래서 나도 코너로 나도 어떻게 라임을 들어봤다. 나도 참아 들이진 참아 놀대 그래서. 너무 코너로 나도 밑에 좀 말이 들어와.
So it's not like blaming to somebody. It's we can blame to ourselves. The people who are experiencing, whoever is experiencing the difficulties or the suffering, is the one to be blamed.
그래서 들릴까봐야 소속을 zor었지. 그 소속 공로 막 자네 아니 아주 계시나 나도 계셔야 야시는데 투도 어떻게 방 비슷한 거 말았어.
And so this way, at least you don't get angry towards others. Then when you are not angry and you speak to a person, then it will be nice. Yeah, it will be more calm, more peaceful, and then the person who speaks to you will be also calm and peaceful.
근데 나도 코로나는 것도 투도 어디 비슷한 당시도 왔어.
Is it like that? When we're not angry, we can say good things. But when we're angry, we always tend to just automatically, right, without any control, tend to use bad words.
그래서 딴 얘기가 간다. 저런 거 파라가 인자 파저 따지는 뒤동아 되는 거예요. 그래서 따도는 두 사람들 해줘야지.
So what he's saying is that because you did bad to others, therefore others are doing bad to you now. Is it really like that?
저도 해줘야지. 소소 파 코로나니 먼저 죽으러 가는 거 왔어.
So because you cause harm to others, and therefore others cause harm to us.
근데 저도 상관없다. 저도 단다 까맣게 상관없다. 저도 배나 된다 지마 영나 다방 냠나 된다 남마 다방 냠 저도 미드로 코로나 뉴스 주번에 자유했어.
So can you think of somebody that you have caused harm, or somebody that you have become angry at, like last week, last month?
Maybe last year, maybe last 20 years. Do you remember something? 되게 제가 돼 찍다도 담보 소소문이 제가 돼야 막 콜로 지금 some 그런 거 말인데 소소한 머리피 무시보 뭔가 지금 랍같이 아니 봐줘 때 아니 키나도 제 아니 틀라고 것도
So when you did something like that, something bad, or say something bad to somebody else, And you didn't do that out of anger, right? I mean, intentionally. You didn't do it intentionally. You did it somehow. You said it somehow. So out of anger or out of ignorance.
대상 간도 가디나 수수 칸에 가리셔와나 이게 가리셔와나 또 사수 제가 내가 지금도 왔어. 된다 좀 정도 또 너무 추로도 와.
So therefore, watching our speech is very important, or like what we're saying or what we're writing. Watching that is very important. Thinking over again whether it's appropriate or not, whether it's something harmful for others or not.
Right. Right now, the people interview. There's some important political guys. They say I have to be very careful what I'm talking. They're very careful, right? What they can say, what they cannot say. They're very careful. Because they say something wrong, then they become big fire, right? Therefore, we have to always, very important to check our mind. What I'm going to say that is good or bad, Without thinking, not just, if you don't like what just said, don't do that. Not like that, okay? Then the look that Suzu, the Gom Japan, the Nico, some of I think they are Gom Japan.
So thinking about it, contemplating these things, these facts, right? Contemplating on them, and again and again and again. So that's called meditation also.
Okay? 다 네가 너만 빼셔야 된다 싶습니다. 대인 손다 다글리 니가 누가 제인데 댄서 다글리슈나 강실하는 좋아하셔라스. 다 네가 가는 다 유박 쉬어야 다 되게 자셔야 되는 거스.
And then in verse 43, it says, both his weapon and my body are cause of suffering. He has obtained a weapon, and I have obtained a body. With what should I be angry?
좋아. 다들 오늘 봤어. 저는 수고해 와서 지금 쉬네. 다들 나이가 이제 알아야 돼. 왔어.
So you have a pain in the body because you have a pain body. If you didn't have a body, you will not have body pain, right? So your body is to be blamed for for experiencing the pain also. So should you become angry at your body? Is it like that? So if you don't have a head or you don't have finger, then you will not have the suffering of feeling pain in the finger or feeling pain in the head, right? You will not have headache without head. So your headache is to be blamed to your head. Yeah? Is it like that?
Yes. 단데 주박쇼 그잖다. 주박쇼 그잖다. 저런 들 사체 년인지 동안이 폼보도 매워졌나? 아니 주박쇼 동안이 영어 말했어. 저한테 폼보도 요하면서 아니 대중에 되게 쉬운 그냥 동안이야 그랬어.
So now that's going a little deeper, right? So understanding that is much more difficult because we're talking about the contaminated aggregate, right? This, the contaminated aggregate that we have, which is the result of the result of the negative karma that we've created. So it's the suffering, the all-pervasive suffering, right? So so because we have that, therefore we experience the pain. If we didn't have that body, we will not have a pain at all. So that's going a little bit deeper and more difficult to understand. But that's really true or not? If you didn't have head, will you have a headache?
Okay.
So now that's what he's saying. So if you get angry, then you should get angry towards both the stick and the head also. And so also, then that way, you should also get angry to the delusion, right? And so if you don't have the delusion, then you will not be angry. So if you want to be really angry, then you should be angry towards the delusion.
Okay. And
so here in the following verses also, it's saying same thing. Like if you become angry, then you should be angry with this. So it's like a debate.
대는 내가 저거라더니 미 판초가 공주다 사요 말해서 하는 거로.
So then in verse 44, it says, blinded by craving, I have obtained this boil, and that appears as the human body, which cannot bear to be touched. When there is pain, with whom should one be angry?
그래서 대저 가서 배나 가서 수보라 무추죽 소자 조금 말아 왔어.
So we cannot bear to have even a small insect bite our body, right?
근데 그다 시어도 찌바라서 가지 저도 무추죽 소자 가서 저도 맞는데 시어로도 찌바라서 다 대가 저는 차지 대차발라 때는 제발로 너 저한테 차바 휴지 버지는 제발 너 제요 말해서 와.
So what do you understand when it says, I have obtained this boil? What is that? Do you understand? I have obtained this boil.
A boil is like a pump filled with pus.
Pus. Oh, that's the boil that's talking about?
Or
Okay.
an abscess.
Mm-hmm. Sure, Rosigas mother, Matsiga.
아,
Matsiga.
그래 시와 매일 좀다 왔어. 다들 빼자.
네.
대라도 맞추니서나 지금 뭐지 소자가 있나? 제가 가서 저도 말해서 와. 근데 다 대라처럼 들리는 좀 못해서 소자처럼 다 대라 차지. 아니 대라는 거 같지만은 저한테 너가 쟁이들 공로사요 말해서 그러.
So, so when you have the boil, right, so itself is the pain. Yeah, so itself is the pain because it is painful, therefore you can't, so you can't be angry. You can't be angry on the others. So because itself is a pain, therefore, when you have it, it will be pain. So can't blame that pain on somebody else. Itself is a pain.
다들 내가 가서 내 시바지 않는 거 줄알 거나. 만주서를 나는 내가 계속 대단한 코너 상들라 그러 왔어. 만들라 봐야나.
So because this person or that person caused harm to me, therefore I'm getting angry towards that person.
다들 아니 나서 저 가와 담으면 나 위해서 맞을라나? 오늘 나 위해서 그 왔어 그 말이지.
And then first of all, if we were told to say, oh, so where is that I? And so that person harmed me. Yes, where's that me or I? Right? So we cannot even find that I.
그래서 어느 전에 가서 딱 가서 요모 주대와 대고 저기로 왔어.
And so from there, we already, and it's very clear. From there, it's very clear that we are deluded, right? Ignorant.
오케이, 대신 다 심심한데 시와 등은 문제지. 등하질라 겜배나 랑게 네반 너제베 jel라 코데 지시 요스 가지 렌데지들라 문베스 다 보고 주주다. 제가 소리와 아니지.
쉬어라도 쉬어라도.
아,
자기들 쉬어라도 쉬어라도.
쉬쉬쉬.
쉬어라.
쉬와.
저는 쉬어라.
아니 쉬와.
마 쉬어서 마세요.
맞는데 쉬와. 마세도 빼기 심하다. 쉬와 뭐 좀다 봤어.
쉬어라. 샤키 그러다.
쉬쉬죠.
샤비라 쉬어라.
쉬와는.
쉬어서 다 시키고 거라.
근데
쉬어서 로스가 말. 쉬어서 마세요. 말.
그래 맞추지 무슨 게.
말했어.
맞추지가 좀 되게. 심마 추지 좀 되고 자요.
말하면 마호라. 맞춤부죠. 마보차 춤부죠라. 디디 코란다 마호란다 나도 당하라다. 콜도 나도 여봐라. 다 나도 수고도 되는 시랬을 거다. 맞춤부지라고 그랬어.
맞춤 못해도 집어냈어. 그래서 또 말했어. 내가 대는 내가 저랑 같이 동안 저기였어. 야. 야.
그래서 이번에 제발
다니와 렌데지 틀라 몸이 시와 등은 메도 징스. 다 렌데 저거 렌데 저거 등은 영화도 저런 렌데가 수야 보지 마시거나 아니 마시오셔. 내가 저런 시와도 보도 집어냈어. 내가 등은 아니 등하시면 등하고 jelapa. 등은 메도나 등하고 제대로 대마가 등하고 jelapa 배치 아나 랑게 녀바치거든 되버리나. 대처럼 하마고 오지. 다 제가 그 계속 모쳐들라고 대 노력을 했어.
And so just like I mentioned earlier, so whenever bad thing happened to us, we always tend to blame to others. So because of he, because of her, I'm going through this kind of problem and so forth. So this is what it's saying in verse 45. So I do not desire suffering, yet fool that I am, I desire the cause of sufferings. When sufferings emerge due to my own fault, why should I be angry with anyone else? So just like a child when he or she knock, on the wall or trip on the floor, and become angry, at that. And so because they're thinking that caused, the harm, but it's oneself, who, tripped, and that's why one is experiencing the pain.
Okay? Then, yes.
I can understand I desire the
Kasi.
So then I 소속이 또 동화 누구야 그래서라. 소속 동화 누구야 말했어?
Yinaya, dunga jela, jela to sadi yoris.
Yeah. So we do not desire suffering, right? We do not desire suffering, but we always, create a cause for suffering. That's what he's saying. Even though
cause, but we create the cause, but desire the cause?
no, so it says, I do not desire suffering, yet fool that I am, I desire the cause of sufferings. The cause of sufferings, we desire that, right? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Desire come was, Kazina,
말다 가서 동화기 주디 누구야 가서.
do the yoris.
동화 주 누구야? 답변은 동화 대학이 주디야. 답변은 미교를 해서 먼저 누구야? 미교 자 내가 지야. 답변은 차바기야 돼서 먼저 누구야?
Take him as a Maria. Dunga jela ngumba juseyo mando. Dunga tone se ya dunga jela ngumba juseyo. They came back na ta chana te dum de yoris. Chana dunga mando na chana dunga yuwa jet chana dum de yoris. Ta te gas ngala na chance ko.
So I mean, it's the wording, right? So it's using the word, and you can say you're running after that all the time. You are running, even though we don't want suffering, but we are always running after the cause of suffering. And in other words, we're creating the cause of suffering all the time. Even though we don't want suffering, but we're always creating the cause of suffering all the time. And so, so the things that give suffering to us, we don't know that they give suffering to us, but we want to have that thing. So we want to have a car, we want to have a house, but those things give us also suffering. We desire for those are the cause of the suffering, and we desire that, but that gives us suffering. That's what it's saying.
Necha shadow control trado so dunga yo jeres. Ta ngado dunga go mena ngado to dunga sa ngado teme so to mdo was.
So becoming angry, you want to be angry, you want to be arrogant, you want to be like, so that kind of things, So even though those are the sufferings, and those are the cause of the sufferings, we always, tend to do that. We all tend to do that. So if we want to be free from suffering, then we want to avoid those. We have to avoid those negative emotions. Is it like that?
Dunga do
Makes
no
sense?
teje se jare was. Dunga mdo ngado tama kele chipar was.
So it's true that we don't want to have any suffering, right? That's 100%, right?
Ta dunga yosa te kawa yosna. Ani kanji ngado khoroso dunga yodo was.
So just like we don't want to have suffering, we're very sure about that, very clear about that. Just like we don't want to have suffering, do we do anything not to have not to create the cause of the suffering? No, right? So we're always running after the cause of the sufferings.
Teza khoroso dunga yodo was.
And so becoming angry, or hating somebody and so forth. So if you become angry, then you become unhappy, right?
Teza mendo dunga madana dunga jingado kato mdo ngazo.
So even though we don't want to have suffering, but we cannot avoid the cause of the sufferings.
How goes on? You got it? It makes sense?
Yeah, it's translated.
No, the quadra ideas.
Makes sense, right? What
It
it
makes
says.
sense or is still up?
No, it's fine. For example, like you said, the stomach pain. If I eat something, it's causing stomach
No.
pain. But so I ate something, I'm desiring to eat.
Yes. Yeah, she was the dugo. The color dugo.
Yeah.
Color dugo. The color done it. The color that and the color the one you juchara. The color dover. The one you want the judel dover.
대도 작아도 대야 치도 샤야면 하면. 그냥 가도
But the engine on the dover.
알레.
The dugo dugo 말은 아주 dugo judo dugores.
네. 된 노래 라이스만 누가 이제 죽대 걸세.
그래.
먼저 지요 강지 가시세요. 누가 이제 뭐 이제 대파지 집어 잡고 면.
So yeah, in some cases we can that makes sense, right? So like the food, the house, the car, all these things, but not all the time, you can apply that way. So the most we do will be like we run after them. We create them. Even though we don't want suffering, but we always create the cause of suffering.
누가 이제 너무 라이 빠져서 말이야. 누가 이제 죽대 걸세. 누가 너무마다 누가 이제 죽대 걸세.
So if you say desire, it can cause confusion just like it did to you. So, but other word, it's saying like creating.
Yeah.
So even though we don't want suffering, we're always creating the cause of the suffering. That's easier to understand. So you can just use the word creating instead of saying desiring. So just like we're not happy when we're angry, and we're not happy when we're jealous, right? But we still, happen to become angry or happen to be jealous, right? So without any control. And we're not able to be patient, right? So if we are able to be patient, then we have closed the door of the suffering. But we're not able to do that. Therefore, we're not able to close the door of the suffering, and we let the suffering come to us. So if somebody stole, right, or robbed, and then he got caught, and he was put in the prison. So his going to the prison is created by who? The cause of going to prison is created by who? Himself?
Yeah.
But you can blame to the police, right? He caught it. If he didn't caught you, you will not be in the prison. And if the judge didn't punish you, you'll not be in the prison. So people blame, right? Oh, that judge was very bad. He put me in the bad people will not accept that they did the bad thing, right? So they will say, oh, the police caught me. The police was bad, or the judge, sentenced me. So therefore, we blame to those.
Okay.
So it is because of one's one bad action that one is going through the suffering, right? And so just like the thief, I said, I didn't steal yours. Why did you catch me? So he may blame to the police, right? Like that, So we always tend to blame on somebody else, and therefore it is not correct, to think like that. So we have to always, blame to ourselves because of our one action. We're experiencing that suffering. And then next one is in giving the example, of the hell realm. It's a hell realm. So of course, if you don't have, believe in the Buddhist way of explaining the hell, then maybe it's a little difficult to understand. So he says that in the hell there are these cauldrons, like a big pots, where you will be cooked, right? And there's this iron burning ground, and where every time you walk, it will burn your feet and melt it, And then again, when you raise your step, it will be all full again. And then when you step on it, it all burn and then melt it. And then so every time, like whole day they go through like that. That's kind of suffering, And then the hell guardians. And so there's a guardians, like very fierceful looking beings who are like torturing you all the time, piercing you with the spears, or stabbing with the knife and so forth, doing those things. So these are all created by. There's nobody like saying, okay, we're going to have a god, pay them, and have a god, to protect, to like torture you all the time. It's not like that. Those are created by your own karma. The iron burning ground is not maintained by somebody else. It's created by your own karma. The cauldrons, or the big pots, where you're cooked all day, is not, there. Somebody placed it and set the fire like that. It's your own karma. So in the hell realm, that's how it is experienced. So that's what it's saying in this. Next, so it says like just as the forest of razor leaves and the birds of the hell are brought into existence by my action, so is this. With whom should I be angry? So it's like the lobsters. People when they cook lobster, they cook it alive. Is it right? That's true. Cook it alive. So they have a boiling water, and then they put a live lobster in there.
Teneta lapsuru korang legi wangi teniji ko teniji sana shimoyowa. Ani ngazo mil mago kaya marwa teniji ne ko legong je marwas. Nyawa sa teniji ore maji nyawa sa yang sari shimara yoke je ke maras.
So, that it doesn't mean chevara.
Teneta ti
No, then change your mara.
ti korang ta legi kaji teniji yongero was legi nyangero was.
So that, and of course, the lobster, going through that suffering, and it's also because of its own karma. So the lobster has created karma to have it, like boiled live, and because of that, then there's the conditions of people who, around having the desire to eat lobster and setting fire and so forth. All this, but in the hell realm, it's similar to like that. It's just that there's no actual person doing that for you.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? Any complicated questions? Your questions are very good now. If you have some questions, you get some answers. I'm not saying you can have questions, I can give you all answers, but you can discussion, you get more information. Yes?
I have a question, but it's not about the teaching today.
Okay?
I wanted to ask you, what is the 10 directions?
Pardon?
Like when we-
10 direction, chokchu de kare.
Shokchu. Shokchu tsamje.
Chokshi tsam.
Chokshi.
Tsamshi.
Shokshi
Tsamshi
tsamshi.
tengos.
Shokshi, sharlo no shokshi. Ani? Tsamshi, and deoni.
So 10 directions is the 4 directions, and then the directions, the 4 corners, cardinal directions, what is it? Cardinal direction will be this, right? And then 4 corners, that makes 8, and then up and below.
Okay? Yes?
Let's say you have a situation and you see all this and you see what's happening and you see obstacles. What's the best thing to do to get rid of them obstacles to maybe bring people back together after they've had a big falling out? What's the best thing to do to bring them back together?
Also,
Ganyan too.
so some, can you be more specific?
All right, let's say you text somebody,
Oh, okay.
you have a big falling out back and forth.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Nobody will have anything to do with you anymore, and you won't have anything to do with them. And to bring the group back, to bring it back together, what's the best thing to stay away, or what can you do practice-wise to bring it back together?
Say sorry. Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah,
You don't want to say
yeah, but
yeah.
even if they don't even wanna,
You don't want to say sorry, right?
yeah, they don't wanna hear it, they don't wanna, they're just like, totally done and don't want.
Then just live. But don't give up the compassion. Just, okay, when they're happy, just leave that. Don't touch. But pray for them. From your heart, he or she or whatever, if they're your best object of the passion. Or passion or
Patience.
patience. Because there you can practice patience. Someone bother you, you can practice patience. No one bother you, say, I'm today practice patience, you just relax, oh, nothing bother. It's not really practice patience. If someone really bother you, then you say, okay, just stand up.
So you pray for patience?
No practice patience. No. Pray and practice patience.
Pray and practice.
Okay? Don't hope.
Yeah, don't hope for something to come back.
Yeah.
Just pray your best, and then be patient.
Okay? If you come back, welcome, it's okay. It's the nature of the samsara. Okay? Lot of things we always lot hope. Then doesn't give our hope, then we get bow. The total not too much hope. It's work? Good. No, it's okay. We have nothing to do, right? Like it's cup is very block. It's very block what to do. Try to before block we have to keep carefully, put nice place. It's very block. Then try to not mix more. Okay? I think that's okay, thank you. It's afternoon we have some ceremonies. to take care of refuge. And we go to that. After that, finish. If you love to also see what they're doing, you love to watch, no problem. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you. Now your job.
Tuchiche. Okay. All right, I'll do my job. Okay. All right. People turn to page 39 of the prayer book, please. Saji Perki Jun Shi Meta Thram Ri Rabling Ji Ni Degen Padi Sange Zing Du Me From my 2 collections, vast of space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever directions the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzing Gyatso Chenley Zik remain in life till samsara's end. Tong Ni Ning Je Zung Du Ju Pe Lam Che Che Sa Ze Gang Chen Ten Drugum Chag Na Pe Mo Tenzin Gyatso La So Debzo Page 49, short, long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tum tum chang zing chang gong ge we ten zing yom pe we Chongsun Kurere Mun Tudru Pada Zoto Je Gundu Zapten Sho. Your form embodies all Buddhas. Your nature is that of Vajradhara. You are the root of the three jewels. Homage to you, O Gurus. In short, I seek your blessings, O Protector, to be cared for by you from birth unremittingly throughout all my lives, and thus to become your chief disciple, in holding every aspect of your body, speech, and mind. O Protector, please grant that all be auspicious for me to be foremost among your very first circle of disciples, wherever you manifest Buddhahood, so that all my temporal and ultimate wishes, without exception, may be effortlessly and spontaneously fulfilled. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Furthermore, in life after life, may I, pleasing him in return, be forever fostered by an accomplished Mahayana spiritual master, the source of every virtue of this world and beyond. In his care, may I acquire in him a firm, unshakable faith, pleasing him by every means possible, doing nothing even for an instant to disappoint. May my spiritual master impart to me every instruction and every teaching in its entirety. Having understood them faultlessly, may I practice them and be able to bring them to perfection. May I never even for a moment fall under the sway of malevolent teachers and misleading friends. Having developed in every life belief in cause and effect, renunciation, the Bodhi mind, and the pure view, may I embark upon them continually with effortless experience. In every life, may every virtuous act gathered by way of body, speech, and mind be causes solely for the welfare of others and for the purest and highest enlightenment. Page 57, prayers of dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. And we will finish on page 75. Mixima. Me tse we te chen chen we zi dream can pay one po jam pel young gam chen ke pe su gen song kapa lop sang drape zabla so thank you, Geshe.
Well, thank you so much, Geshe. Thank you, Domcho. We have, as Geshe mentioned, we've got 12:30 starting the refuge and lay vow ceremony. Everyone is very welcome to join. It probably take about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So again, I don't know, it's probably too loud now, but anyhow. And then we've got a Guru Puja, we've got regular class on Wednesday, and then a Guru Puja this coming Thursday. Everyone welcome to join. It's going to be the usual 7 o'clock to 8:45. And then there's a Reiki class coming up, the Reiki 2 this next weekend. Oh, we have a tour of the Vietnamese temple that's coming on Sunday afternoon, around about 4:30, to have the volunteers here to help us welcome people. They'll be coming through the backyard, and we'll just need people to help, please, with guiding them around, handing out, whatever we're going to give them as a keepsake, and that's it. So if anyone who can be here this coming Sunday, it'll probably go from like 4:30, I would say, till 6 o'clock, because sometimes they run a bit late. So that's it, and that's about the timing, Geshe. Yep. Good, thank you.